So I'm coming through with a video. It's the middle of the night. I'm at work. I work the night tour. And when I was younger and I first started security, I despised the midnight tour. You would have thought you were sending me, you know how you felt when you got sent to bed as a child? You just thought your whole little world was going in. That's how it felt when I first started security, and every now and again I would have to work the midnight tour. I despised it. I hated it. I wanted day tour or evening tour. And like so many of our ancestors before us, in the famous words of them, if I only had known what I know now then, I would have welcomed the overnight tour. If I had only known what I know now back then. Those are words uttered amongst every race, creed, and shade. If only I had known what I know now back then. But I digress. I had a conversation with a young lady today in her late 30s, and it was two other women partaking in the conversation. Actually, they was conversing amongst themselves, and then I gave my 2 cents because I started laughing. They was like, "No, for real." So the young lady was giving her spiel about her dating, and she just had an epiphany, if I'm pronouncing it right, or she didn't have an epiphany. She just said God spoke to her and told her to leave that relationship. So she woke up and told the guy it's not working. So we were just giving our own 2 cents about dating, the trials and tribulations, and the lessons learned through dating, learning yourself, learning other people. And I gave her 2 videos because she really seemed like she trying to do her work on herself and be a better person, and just everybody just learning in this game called life. So I said, "Give me your phone." I gave her my phone, and I told her to put her number in it, and I sent her 2 videos. One of them was from Dr. Miles Monroe. I love Dr. Miles Monroe, if I'm pronouncing his name right. He is the bomb diggity. When I say he's the bomb diggity, was the bomb diggity because he's passed away. He gives such phenomenal advice from a psychologist's point of view, but also extracting words from the Bible, books from the Bible. He combines whatever medical like I said, philosophy with it, with books from the Bible. If you don't know about Dr. Miles Monroe, go on YouTube and look him up. He's a phenomenal black guy. I wish I had known about him when he was alive, because I surely would have wanted to partake in one of his seminars, one of his sermons, all of that. I don't want to say one of his sermons, because he didn't preach. It was more of a therapeutic type thing, with him pulling things, extracting things from the Bible. That's the best way I can put it. Dr. Miles Monroe. And I also sent her a video from this guy that I need to stop back looking at him. I fell off looking at him. He's an excellent preacher. His name is Stephen Frisner or something like that. But his wife Holly was preaching a sermon this one particular Sunday, and it was from the book of Songs of Solomon, I want to say. I sent that to her. You don't get to choose how God uses you. And that goes back to one of my other videos where I post about Lauryn Hill. All of us want to be used by God, but a lot of us want to be used by God, but don't want to get our hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? We're not willing to like really lose everything and then gain it back. Let's be honest, a lot of us not built like that. We want to be used for the glory of God, but we want the pretty dainty stuff and all of that. I'm trying to be not long-winded, but tell y'all what's good. But I guess God put it on my heart to share that information with the young lady, because I know how it is to be out here trying to juggle everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And everyday life is part of going to work, taking the good and bad where you at work. You got your snitches, you got your ass kissers, you just got a variety of people and personalities at work. Okay, and then if you're a breeder, you got kids, you got to handle their multiple personalities, their attitudes, and whatever they got going on at school. You got to handle that. And then you also juggling your own feelings. How do I separate myself from my work, myself from my kids, and how do I go back to having fun and just making life, what's the word? Like just enjoying myself, my life. I'm trying to, the words are just, my brain is going faster than my mouth. But it's a jungle out here, and you just really trying to you hold different kind of caps. And me personally, I've been doing a shadow work on myself. And I was thinking the other day how sometimes we can spit in God's face. Sometimes we realize it, sometimes we don't realize it, sometimes we realize it and care, sometimes we realize it and don't care, or just numb to it. So not too long ago, even currently, I'm going to say not too long ago, not really currently, but not too long ago, up to maybe a month or so ago, I was just praying so hard to God to keep a certain individual away from me. Like I was just praying to God, please God, just help me to stop hating this person, but just keep them away from me. I was like, keep them away from me, God. I was like, I don't care what they going through. I was like, I don't want to know about it. Even if I'm going through my own trials, I was like, just keep them away from me. I mean, I was praying so hard to God, like, please keep them away. Like in another video, I was saying, when you pray to God, say it at least 7 times, like, keep my faith, keep my faith in God, 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 keep my faith in God. That's how I carry stuff. I say it more than once so I can let it resonate in me, and it could be like an affirmation, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I was just praying so hard to God to keep this individual away from me, because I was like, they're not going to change. It doesn't matter how hard I try to say I love them, how hard I try to prove to them that I am the one. It does not matter if I pull a rabbit out my hat. It don't matter it don't matter what magic trick I do or whatever I do. It's just not good enough for this individual. And I was like, I'm tired of trying. It's not supposed to be this hard and all of that. And like I said, I look at a lot of stuff on social media, and people need to get back in their Bible. We need to get back in our Bible. God is not the author of confusion. It's like when you at a traffic light, red means stop, yellow means slow down, green means go. There's no confusion. Everybody knows that's universal, at least here in the 50 states. It's universal. Red means stop, Yellow means slow down. Green means go. So when you're in a relationship with someone, it shouldn't be no confusion or on you thinking, hesitating, do they really like me? I don't know if they really like me. And then if you come right out and ask them, they giving you a gaslight answer. You can't be with no one who thrives off confusion, who thrives on keeping you in suspense, who thrives off just keeping you confused. If you're confused, then they're not the one for you. Love is kind, love is gentle. I think that joint in 2 Corinthians somewhere, because it's 2 Corinthians, but I want to say it's in 2 Corinthians. Look it up. God is not the author of confusion. Love is kind, love is gentle. You ain't gotta guess nothing. And it goes back. It goes back to what I was saying about I was praying, and God was answering my prayers. And just block people. You have to block when you're trying to detox yourself from somebody or something. Just block them on social media, on your cell phone. If you got to get a new phone number, then get a new phone number. If you can afford to move something. A lot of people just want to know if they still can have access to you. They don't want to be with you. They just want access to you. And what I mean by access, it don't always have to be sexual. Just you picking up your phone is giving them access. You responding to a text message is giving them access. When you trying to remove yourself from a toxic situation or something that's not good for you, you have to remove yourself completely. Like when you go to if somebody get diagnosed with cancer or whatever, I don't know if they just remove part of the cancer. I'm gonna assume they're gonna remove all the cancer, because if you don't, it's gonna corrode again. And it's like people prey on good people. People prey on people who have empathy, who come from a good background. People prey on people who got solid people around them, a good foundation. People prey on them kind of people, and you gotta watch out for folks like that. You know what I'm saying? It's more hurt and unhealed people out here than it is healed people. It's a whole lot of hurt people out here, and that's one thing I learned from my baby cousin. Hurt people hurt people. It goes right with misery loves company. It's right in that same bracket. Hurt people, and misery loves company. And I really was praying to God. I was like, God, please deliver me from this person. I was like, I can't take it. And that's when I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'd rather have 2 black eyes, 10 broken ribs than somebody playing with my feelings or playing with my mental. Because your black eyes will go back to the way they were. Your broken ribs will heal. But when somebody is playing with your mental, that takes time to heal from. It really does. It really takes time to heal from somebody telling you that the sky is purple when that motherfucker been blue since before you. But this new raggedy ass MF that came along in your world telling you that the sky's purple, the grass is blue, and they're unicorns. You know what I'm saying? You like, what? And then they so convincing, you like, so I'm glad I was able to give my advice to a young lady today, because she was like, that makes sense. And when I was telling her about, dating these men, ask them, are they healed? Have you ever been hurt? Have you ever hurt someone? And if you did, how did you apologize? Do you apologize? What's your way of apologizing? And you got a lot of people out here who don't take accountability, men and women. They not going to say, I'm sorry, and name why they sorry. They going to figure out a way to make it your fault. Somehow or another, it's all your fault. They played no role in it. None whatsoever. It was not their fucking fault. And I'm just to the point that I don't want to talk no more. And that's what I see on YouTube, because I look at a few therapists on YouTube. When you're dealing with someone toxic, especially narcissism, it's just best to walk away. Don't even try to explain your case, because they don't care. They only see one way, and that one way is their way. You ever had people who say, it's my way or the highway? You might as well get on the motherfucking highway. So, yeah, don't explain yourself. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Just hit them with the, oh, okay. I learned that from my mama. When I was working at the post office, I had a supervisor, and she could be jaw like a butthole, but she wasn't no narcissist. She could just be a butthole. But you can talk to her and she'll be like, okay. But sometimes she could be a butthole. And this one particular time, she was being a butthole. And I went home and I told my mother what was going on. My mother was sipping too. She took that last sip. She explained some shit to me. And then she was like, just say, oh, okay. I said, that's all? She said, yeah. I went to work the next day. That little sawed-off girl was trying to... I said, oh, okay. She stood there and started chuckling. She started laughing. And in my head, I was like, it worked. And I got home. I said, Mom, it worked. She was like, I know. She was like, I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So, the elders, the old people, they know how to rock. But, yeah, this is just my message, Once you talk to somebody 1-2 times, grown folk 1-2 times, and they don't get it, they choose not to get it. Now, sometimes you might have to explain something to me, but that's in the same sitting. Like if we sitting down, I'm like, well, what you talking about? I don't understand. But once you explain it again to me, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. But for toxic people, narcissistic people, they know what they doing before you even say it. They play chess, honey. They do not play checkers. They play crackhead chess. And not all crackheads are bad, because you got some functional crackheads out here. Some of them more than likely are doctors and lawyers. It's chess, baby. And they know what they doing, because they done size you up from day one. They sit there and ask them nigga red questions like, you honestly being yourself. But I don't think so. No. Save your sanity. Do not be trying to explain yourself to somebody who is hell bent on seeing things their way and their way only. Stay away from people who don't take accountability. Stay away from people who can't say, you know what, in this particular situation, I was wrong. And let me tell you how I was wrong. And let them explain on how they fixed it or how they wish they could have fixed it. If you can't, if you with somebody and everything is somebody else's fault and they're the victim, just sit there and listen. Have your few cocktails, they paying or whatever. Yeah, let me get another one. Yeah, use top shelf this time. I was trying to be nice and got the real, but use top shelf this time. And go home and expeditiously on your way out the door, block and delete. You do not want them kind of people in your life. You want people in your life who can take accountability, who can say they were right, they was wrong, and how they fixed the problem, and how they, or even come to you to seek advice on how to fix a problem. But if you're dealing with somebody or talking to somebody, man, woman, boss, boyfriend, girlfriend, or just a friend, and they can't take accountability or everything is somebody else's fault, honey, that's a problem. That's a problem. And see, I am doing the work. Right now, me talking to y'all is doing the work. Me sitting in my emotions, not running from how I feel. And it's a toughie. It's a doozy, and it's a toughie because I really want to fool with this person, but deep down inside, I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. My soul and my spirit won't allow me. I don't want to set myself up for failure. And like I said, I do kind of feel like I probably did spit in God's face, because I asked God for the longest to deliver me from it. Because I was like, my feelings hurt. I was like, I don't understand. And I ain't never go through nothing like this. Even in my heydays, I done had liars. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Slim, you lying. Stop lying. But to this capacity, like some mental abusive shit, I've never, in all my 40-something years, never experienced anything like this. And I came from the crack era. My house was the crack house. I've never experienced anything like this. And I feel like a sucker. Because I'm like, damn, I'll wait till I get motherfucking old to be going through this bullshit. I went through this bullshit in my 20s and my 30s, not my motherfucking 40s. My 40s, I'm auntie. I'm supposed to be giving you the game and telling you da 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 da. Not sitting here going through mental gymnastics, trying to heal myself and fix my mental. Looking at this podcast, looking at this YouTube video, doing this journaling. And I mean, I thank God that I am doing the work on myself. And I do thank God for these therapists and stuff online, like I said, like Dr. Miles Monroe, Dr. Romney, and it's a white lady who's a I don't know if she's a pastor, but she's a white older lady, and she also implements psychology and the Bible. And all three of these therapists say the same thing, from Dr. Miles Monroe, from Dr. Romney, and the white lady. I don't want to keep saying white lady, but she is white. She's a white older lady. They all three say the same thing about narcissism. Leave them alone. Do not try to explain yourself. They do not care. They understand. They not retarded. They probably a little artistic and simple, but they know exactly what they're doing. Leave them alone. They don't care. When I say they don't care, they don't care. So your best bet to save your mental and to keep you from going through any type of mental anguish: pray, journal, exercise, eat right, take yourself out on dates, take yourself to church, work on yourself, go to school, start a business, write a book, read to the cancer kids, hug a tree, walk in the grass barefoot, but leave those individuals alone. You're not Jesus. It's not your job to save them. And even Jesus did only but so much. Kick the dust off your feet. And sometimes it's hard for me to say that that verse, because I remember one time my ex was on the phone with his ex. Ain't that some shit? They stay in touch with their exes, narcissists, because they gotta have supply and get a dose of dopamine. And the girl, he was trying to explain himself to her about me and all of that, and I'm like, I was just so confused. I'm like, you talking to your ex still, and what the fuck y'all be talking about? And she was like, well, just kick that dust off your feet. And I was like, well, what the fuck does that I was like, well, what does that mean? And then I looked it up. I was like, I know you lying. And basically it's like what they say in the Bible about kicking the dust off your feet. It's basically, once you explain yourself to somebody and they choose not to get it, just kick the dust off your feet and move it along. That's what that means or whatever. But I digress, because I was like, I could have smacked fire out her that day. Because I'm like, first of all, you still talking to your ex, which is my man. So you condoning this instead of you being a grown woman saying, nah, I don't feel comfortable talking to you, talking to you and you got a girl. Because she knew about me, because all he did was complain about me to other women. And I'm pretty sure you put the pieces to the puzzle that he wasn't talking to you, or he wasn't talking to you when he was at home. He only talking to you while he at work. I wouldn't rock like that. But you can't control people, and everybody don't have the same moral compass as you. But I digress. Leave them people alone. Like that song, Don't Save Her. She don't want to be saved. They don't want to be saved. They like being the victim. They like being the center of attention. Leave them alone. They will drive your ass into a I love me jacket. You're going to be up there at St. Elizabeth. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them, leave them, leave them, leave them, leave them alone. It's plenty of other fish in the sea. You know, some of them might got some teeth missing or got spaces like me. I don't know. As long as they ain't got bad breath and got their own money in their own place, you're going to have to do some adjustments. But when you dealing with a narcissist, somebody who doesn't take accountability, someone who thrives in confusion, who gets a hard on confusing you, knowing that they doing you greasy, leave them alone. When somebody show you who they are the first time, and somebody put their hands on you one time, leave that ass. Somebody keep catching them in a lie, leave them. But during this process, during this healing process, I'm trying not to be so critical when I meet people, even though it's kind of hard. And I know I done probably given up on one or two good men, maybe one for sure, but his political beliefs was different than mine, so it probably really wouldn't worked out. But anyway, he was a pretty okay guy. What I learned is I can't everybody ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't messed up. And what I learned from looking at a clip of DMX, it's too much energy to be standing in this pose. How you supposed to hold your fist like this? It's too much energy to be standing like this. So just give people the opportunity to show you who they are. And once they show you who they are, you believe them. They show you they're a slut, they're a slut. They show you they're a liar, they're a liar. They show you they're a thief, they're a thief. They show you they're a snake, they're a snake. Now you know how to handle them. But just to recap, it was a cool conversation, you know, with the ladies today, because it was all different age brackets. Because I was like saying that when I go out with a guy, you know what I'm saying, I go out on a date with them, I converse with them on the phone, a few text messages, a few phone calls. Hey, you know, I'm thinking we can go and hang out. They'll say that. I'm like, oh, we'll put something together. You want to hang out with me? Put something together. You know what I'm saying? You pick the time and the place, and I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I rock. And I don't go over people's houses unless I feel comfortable, and that's after the first date or the second date. You know, I feel comfortable because, you know, people are crazy, and that's still taking a gamble because you really don't know who people are. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, make sure you keep your little weapon on you. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You know what I'm saying? Either him or me or her, whoever, whatever, however you get down, I have something up on you. You know what I'm saying? And don't be drinking a whole lot when you out. You know what I'm saying? And if you leave your drink, you get another drink. But try to finish your drink before you go to the bathroom or something, because you don't want nobody slipping you something. I mean, this is stuff you should already know, but I'm not criticizing you if you don't know. If you partake in smoking weed, which is legal here in DC, if you ain't there when they rolled it up, don't smoke it when it's already rolled up, because you don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from a guy years ago I used to hang out with. He was like, if you're not there when the bottle pop open, you don't drink that shit. He was like, you should bring your own drink. I was like, oh, okay, because I was a youngin'. I was fresh meat back then. You know, I'm seasoned and served on both sides now. But that's it. Okay, it's been almost 30 minutes. And yeah,